Carl, how do you feel about it this time around?
Quite nervous from the Manchester United perspective. Arsenal are 7 points from a possible 9, and the injury to Yuri and Timber and Gabriel's status seems to have made them not as strong as they looked 2 or 3 weeks ago. But this is an Arsenal team that I think a lot of people were thinking were going to finish in the top 2, whereas this Manchester United team looked to be aiming for 3rd or 4th. And then the way United have started this season got me pulling a face and humming the Europa League theme song again. This has the Duncan once reworked an infamous tweet about how every week there is one crisis club, and the goal is to never be that crisis club. I think among the top 6, one of the worst situations you can be is be the crisis club just before an international break. So whoever loses this game, if there is indeed someone defeated, is going to have 2 weeks of some of the worst sporting discourse about what's gone wrong, whereas the victor just gets to enjoy a nice international break.
Right.
Tuning up whoever comes in late in the window.
For United, it could be another of those 14-kilometre runs that Ten Hag likes at this time of the season. They have lost 5 of the last 9 meetings with Arsenal. However, the most recent encounter, although not strictly official, in July, finished 2-0 to United. That was at the MetLife, the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Were you across that, Carl?
Indeed. This was the game where it looked as if Kobe Mainoo was going to be the nice breakout player of pre-season tour and would be the Casemiro partner in central midfield, only for him to unfortunately have an ankle injury that's ruled him out for the first part of the season. Manchester United have never confirmed how many parts they think there are to a season, so that's annoying. That game against Arsenal was interesting because Mainoo was very, very good. There was a lot of very good rotations on the right-hand side in particular, but also it was your first sort of up-close glimpse of Havertz and others, and it didn't quite work. And I've said before, I don't get Havertz at Arsenal yet, and I'm still waiting to get it. This is a me problem here.
Well, it might be an Arsenal problem. It might be a problem that Mikel Arteta is looking to solve by maybe rotating a bit with his lineup this weekend. What do you think, Duncan?
Well, Fabio Vieira's looked really good this season. Came on and scored an assist, and I think to Carl's point about Havertz, I think the Arsenal fan base is becoming more divided by the game in terms of, give him time. The whole team's not playing well versus, poking with a stick, do something.
I've heard the new Ozil mentioned in his connection, which seems harsh.
That's harsh because Ozil started like a steam engine and
had,
nearly broke the 20 assist record that Carl mentioned. But Arsenal aren't functioning well. Their open play XG is 11th best so far. They've got less open play XG than Everton.
Arsenal have?
Yeah, this season. So they haven't been particularly creative in open play, but you do feel like they are going to click at some point, and 4:30 on a Sunday, one of our favourite time slots, I do feel like they are due a performance. So
I was just going to say, Carl obviously mentioned Gabriel's status there. And I do think Arteta has a big decision to make as to whether he just brings him back into the fold this weekend. Obviously, Timber's out. I think Tomiyasu can return from his suspension where he picked up the 2 yellows against Crystal Palace. But obviously, one of the issues why Arsenal have been playing slightly differently in these first 3 games is Zinchenko's not been fully fit. But he got 30 minutes against Fulham last weekend. So I think it'll be intriguing to see if Arteta just goes back to what made Arsenal so successful, certainly in the first half of last season, where you had that back 4 of Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba and White. Just read Art's piece on The Athletic about Arsenal and some of the dysfunction within their back line. And he was pointing out how White playing as a centre-backs means Saka's ending up being a little bit more isolated out on the right wing. I think Saka's scored in the last 3 games between Arsenal and Man United as well. So you want to make sure that he's kind of got that support from White overlapping and bombing on. And also Gabriel has just been probably a little bit of an unsung hero for Arsenal over the last couple of years. I think he started 73 games in a row. Very, just like a natural defender in that term. And Arsenal's record of clean sheets at the Emirates Stadium for the last, I think they've only kept 1 clean sheet in their last 10 games in all competitions. So this feels like, yes, Arteta, we know, likes to experiment, and he's, been putting Partey at right back, and it's not looked very clean at the moment. Against Man United, especially with Rashford and Antony have caused them quite a few problems in the last couple of years. The safest things for Arteta to do might be to revert back to what worked so successfully last year.
The Totally Football Show podcast is available 3 times a week, bringing you all the football news you could reasonably be expected to care about. We've got views, we've got stats, we've got analysis, we've got some of the best football writers around, and the whole thing is absolutely free. So have a listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or all the usual places by clicking on the link below.